My girlfriend cried when she met my psychotic mother, so I destroyed our toxic relationship and rebuilt something beautiful. My mother made it clear from childhood that she should be the only woman in my life. At 26, I brought home my first girlfriend, Rachel, a veterinary student and former competitive swimmer. Mom opened the door and immediately attacked. "What is this trash doing with my precious boy?" she screamed at Rachel. "She knows she's not good enough for you." Rachel held back tears as Mom continued her assault, calling her worthless and demanding she leave. I grabbed Rachel's hand and walked away, but the damage was done. She broke down crying in my car, asking if she was really such a terrible girlfriend. That moment changed everything. Sitting there comforting Rachel, I realized my mother's behavior was absolutely insane. She'd controlled every aspect of my dating life, forced me into an all-boys school, and even stopped me from attending concerts if female cousins were going. I'd never brought a girl home because of her threats and manipulation, but Rachel was brilliant, kind, and beautiful, and my mother's reaction was completely unhinged. I stormed back to the house and confronted her directly. "Are you in love with me?" I demanded. "Is that why you used to crawl into my bed at night? Why you can't let me see any women?" Her face went white, but she doubled down with her usual excuses. I told her I hated her and never wanted to see her again. Rachel was going to be my wife, whether she liked it or not. As we drove away, Mom chased our car, pounding on the windows and screaming like a maniac. That night, she called 47 times and sent over 100 text messages, ranging from guilt trips to outright threats. The final message at 4 a.m. was terrifying. "I'm coming over to talk sense into you. That girl has poisoned your mind against me." I called Dad, who said she'd been driving around all night looking for my apartment. 20 minutes later, she was pounding on my door, threatening to call police with false accusations if I didn't let her in. Rachel called 911 while Mom used her spare key to try breaking in. I managed to secure the deadbolt just in time. When police arrived, Mom played the victim perfectly, sobbing about how Rachel was manipulating and isolating me from my loving family. But the mountain of threatening texts and her erratic behavior spoke louder than her performance. The officer asked if I wanted a restraining order, and for the first time in my life I said yes. The legal process was exhausting, but Mom's courtroom outburst where she called the female judge a homewrecker only strengthened my case. We got a 1-year restraining order keeping her 500 feet away from both of us. Without Mom's interference, I discovered parts of myself I never knew existed. Rachel encouraged me to explore interests and opinions that had been suppressed for years. I started therapy and learned about emotional incest and covert narcissism, finally understanding our toxic dynamic. Dr. Thompson helped me grieve not just the healthy relationship I never had with Mom, but the parts of myself I wasn't allowed to develop. 6 months later, Dad called with surprising news. Mom had been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and was taking medication while attending therapy twice weekly. She was starting to recognize her behavior was inappropriate, though I remained skeptical about any real change. A year later, I proposed to Rachel during a quiet dinner at home. Her father pulled me aside afterward, saying my courage in standing up to Mom told him everything about how I'd treat his daughter. We planned a small wedding, inviting only close friends and family, including Dad, who came alone. Mom respected the restraining order, but sent a surprisingly thoughtful card, acknowledging she was working on herself to earn back the privilege of being in our lives. The wedding was perfect, unmarred by drama or manipulation. During the reception, Dad gave us a gift from Mom, my grandmother's watch she'd never parted with before, a gesture of letting go, according to her therapist. After our honeymoon, I agreed to carefully controlled meetings. 3 years after our wedding, when Rachel announced her pregnancy, we cautiously allowed supervised visits only. Mom held our daughter Sophia with trembling hands, whispering, "Thank you for this second chance," before carefully returning her to Rachel. Our relationship will never be conventionally normal, but we've established boundaries based on mutual respect rather than fear and manipulation. Breaking the cycle and creating a family defined by healthy love rather than unhealthy obsession became our greatest victory of all. Sometimes the best revenge isn't dramatic confrontation, but simply refusing to let toxic people control your happiness and building something beautiful despite their efforts to tear you down.